Hello there, my name is Luis, I'm also known as iluigidraws, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw portraits. Now, I have been drawing for about 2 to 3 years now, so you could say I have some experience, and that is actually thanks to the pandemic. Over the pandemic, I became obsessed with drawing people, and I really love doing it, and now I would like to share with you everything that I have learned. This for me is the easiest way to draw portraits. But before we start, I would also like to point out that I'm on Patreon. So if you're interested in more tutorials and more tips and even longer videos, you can support me over there if you would like that. I will thank you so much. But anyways, as we were getting started, we're actually going to be drawing this character that I made. It's based on this model. Her name is Sarah, and on Instagram she is b.9 or something like that. But yeah, that's her, and we're actually only going to be drawing her face, not her full torso. So as for my materials, people always ask me what sketchbooks I use and what pencil I use. It's a Moleskine sketchbook and a Graph Gear 1000 pentel. So as we're getting started, I always like to start with a straight line. This is to help me identify the space between the nose, the eyes, and the mouth. And as you can see, I started at the center of the face with a triangle. This triangle is going to be our nose. When it comes to portraits, what I like to do the most is to break everything into simple shapes. So the nose could be a triangle, the mouth could be a diamond, the eyes could be circles, etc. You can actually apply this to anything, like not just portraits. You can do so with animals, objects, and so on. And a really good tip I can give you to find eyes. The problem with most beginners is that they fail to make them symmetrical. This was a really big problem for me too when I started. But something that helped me a lot is to make them parallel to the nostrils. So that's why I made those lines over there. They help me find the location of the eye. And essentially what you're actually doing is training your eye. But not just your eye, you're also coordinating your hand at the same time. So that's why drawing in general can be pretty hard for a lot of people. Especially at first, it's really hard to control both parts at the same time. Your mind can only take a few things at the same time. It's like multitasking almost. But I really like calling it working out because it's something that can be trained, and if you do this consistently, you can definitely get there. Like I mentioned before, I practiced a lot in the pandemic. I really got obsessed, and I drew and drew and drew, and eventually my eye got better at coordinating my hand at the same time. So yes, people, be patient and do not feel stressed, because it's really easy to start drawing for a whole month, for 2 months, but then when you start getting into 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you definitely start getting frustrated, especially if you feel like you're not seeing results. And you will definitely have art blocks, like that is a guarantee. That still happens to me to this day, and I have been doing this for almost 3 years. So there's no escape from that. That will happen, and you just have to overcome it. It's literally like working out. It's just doing it when you don't feel like it, and yeah, being consistent. But anyways, enough of the motivation speech. Well, as you can see, I did a lot of things here, and the main thing that you should take away from this is that I'm trying to break everything into simple shapes. And when I started doing the rest of the face, I focused a lot on straight lines and not curves. I just wanted to make this as simple as I could for me, and that's what you can try as well. You can try it and just map out things, see where everything's going to be in place, and eventually you can start doing more details, better line work. That's what I'm doing here. I'm doing some darker lines, some lighter lines. I'm trying to make this sketch really dynamic and start getting into shading. But anyways, I also really wanted to thank a lot of you who have been following me for a long time. I apologize that I have not done YouTube. I did a lot of things on Patreon, so if you are interested in more videos and even longer videos, you can support me over there if you would like that, of course. But I will start uploading more on YouTube, more tutorials as well, and I hope you like them. This video was actually a little hard to do, Fun fact, I have actually done this voiceover about 5 times now. Every time something happens, my microphone is actually kind of bad. It just cuts for no reason and I get really frustrated. But yeah, this is probably the 6th time I'm recording this, but who cares? Getting into the shading, people always ask me what style of shading this is, and it's very simple. It's cross hatching. Essentially, it's just drawing straight lines from one direction and then drawing straight lines to the other direction. You're basically making the lines cross each other, and I would really recommend doing this in layers. Do not start really dark. I actually feel like I started a little dark in my shading, but please be very gentle. Don't go hard with the lines. Anyways, another fun fact is that this sketch was actually made for a DTYS challenge. It's a challenge I'm doing on Instagram, and if you don't know what DTYS stands for, it's draw this in your style. So I picked this girl, I tried to draw her in my style, and now my followers can draw her in their style. So that's why I really wanted to make this a YouTube video, because if you want to participate, you can follow along and you can try to get to proportions with me, because proportions are hard, and I know that a lot of people need help with it. So I really also wanted to make a tutorial. And another thing that I really wanted to talk about is how interesting this reference is. I love that there's so many elements in it. The first thing is her look, like the way she's looking at us, I guess. Well, yeah, at the camera, not us. And she's also holding some headphones. She's eating noodles, and her pose, the hand is close to her head. The more elements, the more it's believable that the sketch is alive. And that's why I really wanted to draw this reference. But I hope you guys like it, and if you want to participate, you can do so. I will be sharing a lot of the participations in my stories. So yeah, and I will be liking and commenting. And this video is coming into an end. I would just like to shout out my patrons from this month. Thank you so much for supporting me. But another thing is that if you are one of my patrons, you can always send me a message through Instagram or Discord or Patreon if you would like to get feedback from me. So that is it. Right now I'm just doing the final details. I'm doing some more line work, some darker lines, and just touching up some final things. This is actually not the final sketch, by the way. I got really tired to do the hair on camera, but if you would like to check out the final result, you can do so on my Instagram, which is iluigidraws. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I thank you so much for your support. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it was useful. If you did it, you can send it on my Instagram, on my DMs, or just post it on your story, wherever you would like. Thank you and goodbye.